So I'm just sitting here with Len Ashford, and we're just looking at the Dooders team of the century there. So I'm just going to ask you about the centre half back, Merv Williams?
Yep.
And so what were you saying about Merv Williams?
He played quite a lot at the Essendon seconds.
So like, is he, like in that time, was he like older than you or?
Oh yeah, well he played go back a lot of years, 1953 grand final with my brother.
With your brother?
Yep.
Yep.
And I didn't start, was in 1953, and I didn't start with Dooders until 54. But he was a bloody good football Merv. And he finished up, he woke up to himself. He got in the best of the Essendon seconds, the centre half back, 7 weeks out of 8. And then he got dropped, so he said, get stuffed. He came back and played the rest of his career with Dooders. Oh, he's a good footballer.
And so the coach on the coach of the team of the century is Nipper Jordan, right?
Yeah.
So what's your understanding of Nipper? Did he never coached you, for example? He's all too early.
No, he was a lot earlier. He coached, I think, maybe in the 40s, 48, 49, 50 in that era.
Right.
He won. I think he might have been the coach when they got 4 in a row. First two teams to have got that.
Right.
But he was a bloody good footballer. He went down to Essendon.
Yeah.
And they virtually told him to piss off after coming out of the army.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did he play? What was his
Type of roving, or which called rut roving type thing.
Right.
Yeah, bloody good footballer. But from all counts given to me.
Now they've got in the rucks like one of your friends, Frankie Nelson.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
My cousin.
Your cousin. So Frank's your cousin, right?
Yeah.
And so did you play with Frank, or are you the same age, or?
Frank.
Or was he older?
He was a year and a half younger than me.
Right.
But he also, when he came up to do this, he played. And then I had retired after the 65 season because I had a bloody duodenal ulcer. But he took over the coaching.
That's right.
And he sort of asked me to come back, so I did, and I said, if you allow me to run the forward line.
Yeah.
I said, I loved those first 2 games, and the rest of the season was shit. I was full back.
Yeah, no worries, Len.
And he was coach.
So what I'm thinking is you didn't play with him, so he coached you.
Oh yeah, I made him come back in 1968, the first year he was captain coach.
Right.
And I stuffed my ankle up the start of 69, played 1 game, and then said, shit, no, take me about 8 or 9 weeks to get fit again, so like the way fitness was back in those days.
Now you also told me that the best footballer you ever saw at Dooders, and he's in the centre of the team of century, was Johnny Swallow.
Yep.
And I also remember you talking at some point, you were talking about like, this is just moving away from the team of the century, but your recollection of the best wingman that you'd seen at Dooders in your time, who were they?
Leo Duggan.
Leo Duggan, right. Okay, Leo Duggan. So just tell me that story again. That there was a nice little story because he said he played. He was a 16-year-old at Footscray.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
He got an invitation out of there because he had made his name at school, which was Assumption College. But what little I knew about his thing, he went down and played in practice games at Footscray and came up against a bloke called Wally Donald.
Right.
Who knocked the crap out of him. And he was only 16. Wally Donald was the interstate fullback for Victoria.
Right.
So,
yeah.
No mercy shown. So Darcy said, get stuffed, they give football away. But fortunately, he came back and he played, I think he played with the ICWs down at St Brendan's, and then finally came up to Dooders. Now he's only played 30 games, 29 games. That's why he wasn't eligible for the team of the century. Otherwise he would have got it.
How did he get to do this? Do you remember?
Yes. Through a bloke called John Gleeson.
Is that right? I didn't know. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, Darcy, Leo,
Yeah.
he married John's sister,
Right. Okay. There you go.
Kathleen.
Yeah. Okay. So that's your recollection of how he got to do this.
Yeah, that's how.
Now,
Give or take a few lies.
now the other player I've heard you mention. I think I've heard you mention the full forwards, Ken Anderson.
Yeah.
Did you play with Ken Anderson?
Yeah, play with Ken. Ken was a terrific lad. He played a lot of full forward with the seniors, and also Essendon seconds.
So he played at Essendon seconds in their team, yeah?
If there was a need for a hold-up, Ken would take a mark and place kicking.
Right, that's right, you told me.
And he was pretty bloody good at it too. And,
Right.
But I think he holds the record up at Doodles. He played in 7 premierships.
That's the story, yeah. Right,
Yeah.
7 premierships.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he was terrific, like, to play alongside of all. Remember the first premiership I played in, Ken was sort of a ruck, you know, and they put me at full forward.
Yeah,
God only knows why, I'd never played there in my life.
yeah.
But Ken would, be up there, right, then behind, side of the pack, he'd tell you where he was going to punch it.
Right,
He made it easy.
yeah. And did he kick a lot of goals? Like in 7 premierships? Like so he's obviously been picked at full forward, so he must have played there a fair bit of the time. Do you reckon he kicked a lot of goals, your recollection?
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be untrue to say that he could kick 5 goals a game.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I don't know whether he ever kicked 100, but he was a consistent goal.
What was his goal? Was he a good mark, for example?
He was the most lackadaisical bloody footballer.
Is that right?
Fair dinkum, you just have to inject him to get him to move.
Is that right?
But he wasn't a brilliant marker or anything, but he could just read it.
Read it, yeah.
And kick it straight.
Okay. All right.
Terrific, lovely bloke to play alongside him. And his best mate, he sort of brought him up. He was years younger. Was Bertie Williams.
Ah.
Now, I don't know whether Bert's on there. He was my best mate, but
yeah.
he used to say, Bert, he said, "You bloody Catholics, you think you run this bloody club?"
That's right.
So I offered to take him down to St Monica's and introduced him to a Catholic priest. Unfortunately, a silly bastard bloody drank himself to death.
Wow.
He was only about 5'11". He's a left footer.
This is Bertie Williams.
Bert, yeah, Albert, and he could read the game. Really read the game.
Yeah.
And see, I think the team of the century one there is that centre forward would be Alan Greco.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And there wasn't much. And Alan played league football.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
there
With
wasn't
Essendon.
much bloody difference on ability with he and Bert.
Right. What about I don't know if you played this. I think you've mentioned this player as well. In the forward pocket, and his name's Wade, John Wade, is it?
Jackie Wade.
Jackie Wade, right?
Yeah, well, Jack was before my time. In fact,
Before your time, right?
the day I played my first game in the under-17s in 1954 was nearly Jack's last game with the A grade. I think it may have been his last game. But he won about 5 best and fairest or something like that too.
Right. Okay.
Essendon always wanted him to go up there,
Yeah.
and he wouldn't go.
Yeah. Right.
He just said
Yeah.
nothing of him, but he was a brilliant ruckman, apparently.
Right. Okay. And on the interchange, you've talked to me about Leo Danaher, and he as a wingman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played a lot of games with the Essendon seconds.
Yeah. Right. Geez, amazing. Jeez. What was his go, Leo Danaher? Quick or what?
Make position.
Right. Okay.
Make position. He could read a game, which is you've got to have a lot of those players who could do that. But Leo, he was a bit snarly the night of that team of the century because He said,
Did he think you should have been on the wing or something?
Oh, yeah, well, my book he should have been, but
Okay,
I
fair
reckon
enough.
I should have been myself. And if that Leo Duggan had played enough games, he would have been on the wing.
You're on the half-back flank?
Yeah, I played my first premiership full forward.
Yeah,
Next two premierships were wing.
yeah,
And the last two were half-back flank.
okay.
Look, you can't get team of the century and everyone into that crap until you evolve a team that's got ability and mates.
Yeah,
If you got a team with plenty of mates and plenty of ability with it, you always go close to winning the premiership. That shows that we've got, what about 18, 19 premierships? I think the nearest to that is another club kill, or I don't know whether they got 9 or something.
What about this name, Len? I don't know if you know him, and I don't know him, right? It's Brisbane. How does that
Owen
mean?
Brisbane, yeah.
Owen Brisbane?
Owen and Bobby.
Do you know much about him, or?
Yeah, I do know that he lived and he died early this year. And,
Right, okay.
Now here's
You didn't play with him, though?
No.
Before
Yeah, 1 year.
Oh.
That last year I played. But, he and his young brother Bob, they were good tryers, put it that way.
Yeah. So where did he play? What was he?
They were all Rovers.
Rovers.
He and Bobby, yeah, they were Rovers.
Yeah.
Not in the top class, but bloody good. And they got in because they were all mates. You know, and they played together and they knew what each other was going to do. Like, you got to have a team like that.
Now, the other player you've mentioned to me a lot is in the forward pocket, Kevin Beardsley.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking you talked to me about Kevin. Well, tell me. So you've played with Kevin?
Kevin was our captain and coach.
Right.
Bloody good football. We also played with the Essendon Seconds.
Yeah. Okay.
But he coached us for 6 years and lost a total of 10 games,
Yeah.
of which two of the bloody games he lost as a coach, he was when we were playing for a grand final. We were undefeated for the rest of the season. So he won 4 premierships and 2 runners-up.
Yeah.
And those 2 runners-up, first defeat for the year was grand final.
God, that'd be tough.
So he should have gone through 6 years, 6 premierships. Then he went to North Melbourne. He coached a premiership at North Melbourne Thirds.
And you were telling me that Ronnie Barassi wanted him to.
Oh, I wanted him to stay there. So
Yeah.
He'd been coach of the seconds, assistant coach to, I think it was Keith McKenzie and Brian Dixon. And, a lot of people used to boo Dixon because he was a state Liberal member.
With Kevin, was he a rover?
Rover.
Like he's named in the forward pocket here, but
Well, Rover second.
yeah, okay.
Who's the Rover?
Well, look, they've okay. Paul Ferrari's the rover. They've
Yeah.
named here, so he come a lot later than you.
Yeah, yeah. I think he was about 69 or something. He's good football.
Right, that's it. That concludes the team of the century.